here's me and you. And here's the world. And you know, it looks really, like the world looks pretty good right now, but you and me, it's changing. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Before I dive into everything, I want to tell you first a little bit about how I got here. As I am filming this, it is exactly 1 year to the day of the first post I made on my Instagram page called Smile More Here. I used that page to share my thoughts on how I saw the world and how I thought we should treat other people, in the hope that maybe my words would help someone who was struggling or help inspire people to, go out and, change the world on their own. Basically, it was my first real step to trying to create a large platform for myself to speak on issues that I'm passionate about. However, the problem that I soon ran into was that I was using the wrong medium to get my messages across. Instagram is great for promoting things, like I did for this channel, but in my case, I found that the majority of people just didn't really want to stop scrolling through their Instagram feed so they could take the time to, really dive into my deep and thoughtful message because, Instagram just wasn't really the right setting for it. And I also began to feel like my messages would be more impactful if people could hear me and could see my face and see how passionate I was about the things I was discussing. So 6 months later, I created a Snapchat account called The Gift of a Smile. Through that account, I took many of my ideals and words from my Instagram page and just spoke them to the world. But unfortunately, this account brought another new challenge. The continuous streaming of a Snapchat video made it really hard for me to precisely articulate my message because I couldn't edit my videos, and it just wasn't reasonable for me to take the time to memorize a 1 to 2 minute long script before I did a video. So about 4 months ago, I started planning for the possibility of this channel. Because at the time, and even now, it's still very, very daunting. But I had and have still so much love and support from so many of you guys watching that I just decided that I was going to keep chipping away at trying to make this thing happen. And now I have finally come up with something that I'm really, really proud of and that I am so extremely excited to keep working on. So here we go, guys. Here's the goal of this channel. I want to get more people, and specifically more young people, probably like you watching, to be more actively and consciously involved in making positive change in both your own personal lives and in the whole world around you. On the personal side, this channel will explore lessons and wisdom that I picked up through reflection on my own experiences, as well as what I've learned through the experiences of friends and family and public figures. And hopefully I'll be able to show you why these lessons are so important. And I can give you helpful tips on ways that you can incorporate these lessons into different parts of your life. For those of you who followed my Snapchat account, The Gift of a Smile, it'll be really similar to that, except that, like I said, I'll have more time to write a better script and to edit the video and be able to mull over different ideas for longer, so that I can ensure that, the video that I present to you as the final product will be as impactful and complete a message as can be. So that will be one half of my videos, and like I said, there'll be messages that are more on the personal side and that won't be very polarizing. However, my other videos will focus on you in the worldly sense, and they will be more controversial. I will be discussing and detailing current news stories that I feel like are important for people to be knowledgeable about. And I'll explain how these stories tie into larger conversations of these complex social issues that, to me, are really, really fascinating and I think undoubtedly extremely important for us all to understand. For example, I'll discuss, broader topics such as racism or sexism, but in the context of more specific situations like police brutality, Black Lives Matter, or Planned Parenthood. And I'll present these topics to you by gathering all the actual facts I can on the subject, along with differing viewpoints from across the aisle on the subject, and then by giving you my personal opinion based off of everything I've collected. Whereas I didn't have more of a political side to my social media platforms in the past, I'm adding this more political side this time around because, for one, I'm extremely passionate about it, and most importantly, I think that one of the biggest problems in our society today is that we're not really informed about some really important issues. We don't know all the facts, and admittedly, it can be hard to be sure of them sometimes. But how informed we are as a people is something I think ultimately is going to be one of the biggest determinants of our success moving forward as a people. However, I do know that, not everyone watching is going to be super interested in politics, or maybe you have differing views or opinions from me when it comes to these political issues that I'll talk about. And you guys are just here for the other kinds of videos I make instead. And I get it, awesome, thank you for being into those other ones. But I would really encourage everyone watching to at least give some of my more political videos a shot, because understanding politics and these larger social issues is key, absolutely key to understanding what's the best way for our world to move forward. And the more you begin to learn, the more you'll start to understand just how important and absolutely essential it is that we become as informed as we can. So guys, to close up this intro video to the channel, I just want to take a second to explain what I think is the most important message that you should take from all the things I've said in the video, what I'm trying to do, and just my whole journey to this point. And that is that no matter what situation you find yourself in life, big or small, it's imperative that you let your truth be heard. Because what you bring to this world, whoever you are and whatever you stand for, will mean nothing unless you share it. And don't just speak your truth, but sing it. Be so passionate about who you are and what you believe in that you take it with you everywhere you go, and you make it a part of everything you do. And that way, even when your time has come to pass in this life, your voice will never be silenced. It'll live on forever through the many lives that you touched while you were here, and endlessly being passed on to others. That's how you make a real difference. But it won't happen unless you sing. Love you guys.